When I returned from a school trip in early April, my sister was very excited and she told me that plans for a trek had been made.
I have never been on a trek before, so when I heard that we were going on a trek, I was excited and a bit scared because I thought I wouldn't make it to the end.
We had planned to trek to Dayara Bugyal. It is a meadow at an altitude of more than 11,000 feet above sea level. It was going to be 4 days of trekking.
On the meadow, you get a wonderful view of the Gangotri and Yamunotri range all around. We were working with a group called Indiahikes. It sent us regular emails every day telling us how to prepare for the trek. We had to run 5 kilometers in 35 minutes and walk 5 kilometers in 45 minutes.
We were dragged out of bed every morning to practice in order to get our fitness up to level. It was really tiring, but we still managed to meet the requirements. We also had to run up and down the stairs and do squats.
My mother had a list of things that we needed to take for the trek, and we didn't have any of the gear, so we had to buy at the shop called Decathlon.
We have never packed for a trek before, so we watched a video made by a member of the Indiahikes team, which gave us instructions on how to pack our rucksack properly to make sure it's well balanced and we can carry it easily.
On 10th May, we took a flight to Dehradun. We stayed at a hotel in Dehradun for that night, and next morning at 7 o'clock, we took an 8-hour car ride to Raithal. First, we stopped at a roadside stall where we ate breakfast. We ate aloo paratha.
For lunch, we stopped at a small inn. It was right next to the river. After we ate lunch, we all climbed down over the rocks and went right up to the riverbank. It was a lot of fun.
Raithal was a small village in the mountains. The Indiahikes base camp was there. We met our trek leader Kavish there. After everybody came, we had a medical check and the briefing.
Kavish called us all up one by one and used the pulse oximeter to check our oxygen levels and our pulse rate. He explained that they would be monitoring our oxygen levels on a daily basis to make sure that our oxygen levels would not drop too low, as at higher altitudes the atmospheric pressure was lower and we were at a risk of getting AMS or acute mountain sickness.
After the medical check, we all introduced ourselves. There were 2 kids. One was Tanvi, who came with her father Madhav from Hyderabad. The other was Arjun, who came with his parents Sunil and Chandana from Bangalore. There were also 2 doctors who came from Kolkata. They were Priyanka and Tanushree.
Apart from that, there was Megha from Mumbai, Anukriti from Delhi, Sumit and his wife Tanushree from Pune, and Kalyani and Kriti from Amravati. There were also Yogesh and his friends Shabira, Chokti and Sangeeta from Mumbai.
After the introduction, a girl called Sneha, who works with the Indiahikes team, told us about Green Trails. Green Trails is a program which helps the mountain to be cleaner. Their plan is to tell trekkers who come to the mountains not to litter the mountains but to help it be cleaner by picking up the litter they find and putting it in a bag, and when they go back to the plains, throwing them in the right bins. Each trekker who comes for trekking in a trek group gets an eco bag. They are supposed to put the litter they find in the mountains in the eco bag and go back and throw them in the right bins. They also go to villages and tell the villagers and school and children in school how to deal with their waste.
We were all very excited about wearing our trekking gear for the first time. We had also rented trekking clothes from Indiahikes. The entire group posed for a picture before we started to climb. Our plan was to trek 4 kilometers up into the forest.
There were 2 guides. One, Deepraj, was at the front and the other, Krishna, was at the back. The trek leader Kavish was walking with the group. Deepraj wanted the kids to be in front with him. There were many rocky paths and it was a very steep climb. The forest we were walking through had many oak trees and rhododendrons. There were many rest points in which we drank water and rested, and we also played around.
At one of the rest points, which was covered by a metal shade, we ate some lunch which we had packed and brought with us. And sometime later, we reached our campsite, at about 1:30.
We chose our tents and we set up
our campsite
for the first time. We took our sleeping bags and we had already taken our quilts. So we put the sleeping bags and we put the quilts inside them. There were 3 people in each tent and my mother, my sister and I slept in one.
When we reached Gui and saw our campsite for the first time, it was thrilling to see the little bright yellow tents sitting there in a clearing on the hillside. We set up our sleeping bags inside the tent, and it was really cozy to snuggle up inside them at night.
Hey Udita, how was your day yesterday? How was the trek?
It was not difficult. I thought it was pretty easy.
You were the youngest person. Did you manage to walk with the others, or were you at the back?
I was right at the front because yes, I was the youngest and I was managing to beat everyone. I was the fastest.
Wow.
As I found out.
And what's there behind you? What are those?
That is the Yamunotri Rains.
Oh, wow.
There were special tents for the toilet. In the toilet tent, there was a whole dugout in which we did our business. Then we put the tissue paper in. We weren't allowed to put wet wipes in the hole. Then we covered it up with sawdust and mud. The toilets were clean and not smelly at all.
Our plan for day 2 was to trek up 2 kilometers to our next campsite at Chillapura. In the morning before leaving, we were taught how to unpitch our tents. It was a lot of fun taking the tent apart piece by piece, and when we were done, we fit it into a small bag. After unpitching our tents, we started the trek to Chillapura. On our way to Chillapura, we stopped in a meadow where we had a brilliant view of the Gangotri range, and there we took a few pictures. When we continued on our way, we saw a lot of beautiful purple and yellow wildflowers.
When we reached Chillapura and had lunch, our trek leader Kavish told us that we had an option of going on another trek down to the Nagdevta temple, which was beside a lake. As soon as we started, there was a hailstorm which made the ground slippery, and I thought it was quite difficult because it was already very steep. I was also a bit scared. I was most relieved when we reached there. kilometers on the way back. We were very disappointed as the sky was covered in dark clouds and we thought we wouldn't get the views at the top. But the thought of walking to the summit was very exciting.
After about 1 hour of climbing up the mountain, we reached the meadows. We could see miles of lush green grass and wildflowers all around us, and it was beautiful. The meadows reminded me of Sound of Music, and some of us even sang some songs from the movie. But then the rain started, and there was even a flurry, and the winds made it difficult for us to climb. But even though we struggled, we all decided to keep climbing to the top and help each other, so we all made it to the top.
The last few meters were a little steep and rocky, so I needed help. When we finally reached the top, we were very happy.
Hi.
Hi.
Where are you? In the Sahara Desert?
No.
The top of Dayara Bugyal.
Real peak.
Wow. You came on the... Did you come on a helicopter?
No.
We trekked up.
How long did it take?
No idea.
Where is... Can you see the mountains? Can you point those out to me? What about on your left, Raku? Why are you feeling so hot?
It's cold.
And where did you come from? Did you come all the way down from there?
We took many pictures and we took a group photograph with the trek leader. And then we sang the national anthem.
Jai Hind!
After spending some time on the summit, it was time to make our way back to the camp. So we all climbed down. Our guides took us through a slightly different route than before. So we were walking on a ridge and we could see meadows on all sides. It was really beautiful and there were patches of snow all around. On the way, we passed an igloo tent, which was a shelter for anyone who was lost. Inside, we could see sacks of rice and matchsticks. And we stopped at a dhaba in the mountains where we ate delicious bun omelets. It was really nice and warm inside the dhaba as there was a fire going. But then we soon we had to go back into the cold and then walk back to the camp.
So Ashmi,
Yeah.
you've got some dogs with you.
There are 3 dogs accompanying the trekkers. They live in Raithal and they accompany all the Indiahikes treks so that they can get food. And they are stray dogs, but they've been given names because they've been coming along for the treks for so long. So the big black dog over there, he's called Bagheera. The golden dog is called, the light brown dog is called Basket, and the last dog is called Jagira.
And did they keep you company at night?
They barked a lot at night. They spend the entire night barking and then fall asleep in the morning.
So did that disturb your sleep?
A bit at first, but then later I was too tired to stay awake and to actually pay attention.
On the 4th day, it was clear and sunny when we got up and we were seeing a wonderful view. That's why Kavish, our trek leader, told us to come up a hill so that we could take pictures and see the wonderful view we got from there. He also told us the different peaks that could be seen.
So, Udita, is this the last day of your trek?
Yes.
What did you do yesterday?
Yesterday we walked up to the summit. The walk was long and it was 3 kilometers.
And
And it was also cold, but in the middle there was a snowfall.
oh wow, you walked through snow?
No, but there was snowfall. Before the snowfall, there were many hailstorms.
And you walked through a hailstorm, right?
Yes.
Were you scared?
No, because I was wearing my poncho.
And then how did it feel when you reached the summit?
I was happy because then I could finally stop walking and sit down somewhere. And it was also very cold.
Okay, and what is it?
But it was not so, and it was really windy. It felt like I was going to blow off the
Mountain?
peak. And
what is your plan for today?
today we are going to walk back to the base camp. Now we are in a meadow, our campsite is right below. We just walked up. Today is a clear and sunny day, so we decided to.
1, 2, and after
After that, we started our descent. We were going to trek straight from our campsite at Chilapara down to Raithal, which was a 6-kilometer stretch. We were supposed to finish it within 4 hours. An hour into the descent, we stopped at a meadow where we had the most astounding view of the ranges around us. It was gorgeous and the peaks looked like they were close enough to touch. We stopped there for a while to soak in the view, and then later we continued our descent. At our campsite, there was a big white tent known as the dining tent where all of us assembled to eat our meals.
The food was simple but very delicious. On the afternoons after our trekking was done, we had a lot of time in our hands but very little to do. That's why we got together and played games. On one day we played a toe touching game and Damsharaj, and on the third day, since it was raining, we sat inside the dining tent and had a talent show. When it stopped raining, we went outside and members of the group led us through dance routines.
Love was handmade for somebody like me. Coming now, follow my lead. I may be crazy, don't mind me. Say, boy, let's not talk too much. Coming now, follow my lead. Coming now, follow my.
One of my special memories is that even though I felt scared that I wouldn't manage at the beginning, I thought I managed very well, and most of the time I found myself at the front of the group.
On the third day, when we made our way to the Dayara top, I wasn't feeling very well and had trouble walking, but I still kept trekking and I kept going and I made it to the top. I will never forget the feeling I had standing there at the summit, because I felt like I had conquered the world and it just felt amazing.
I feel sad now I finished the trek because I really love trekking and I hope I go on many more treks.
I also feel sad now because I miss the company of the friends I made in the trek and how we spent time together. But now that I've completed the trek, I also feel like I've got new confidence that I can do whatever I want, no matter how difficult it is, if I have enough determination.